Now, in the past few minutes, Armenia's parliament has rejected protest leader Nikol Pashinyan's bid to become the interim prime minister. Thousands of opposition supporters have been rallying outside the parliament. Pashinyan was the only candidate, but the ruling Republican Party refused to back him. The vote follows weeks of anti-government protests after Serge Sargsyan's move from the presidency to the post of prime minister. Let's speak to Iolo Dafydd, who is on the phone line now from Yerevan. So, the ruling party didn't put up a candidate, but they didn't support Pashinyan.
They did not support that. It was a lengthy day of questions, debates and answers by Pashinyan. He was addressing several times, answering many of the questions that were posed in front of him. But when it came down to the votes, literally just a few minutes ago, 56 of the Republican Party members voted against and 45 other members of parliament voted for him. But it was quite apparent a few hours ago in terms of the tone of the debate, the emotive language that was being used. It was quite apparent that the Republican Party, the ruling party here, would not forgive Pashinyan for leading this popular support, this popular uprising, as they like to call it, against the ruling party. He's not forgiven for that, and he's not forgiven either for threatening a political tsunami, which may well, we'll see how that takes place now in the next few hours and the next few days.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Because Armenia's political uncertainty now continues. What's going to happen next?
Well, they will be back here in 7 days' time. We will see if the various factions of the various parties will now offer their own candidates, or whether, as is likely, I suppose, Nikol Pashinyan stands again, if he has enough MPs supporting him, a third of the MPs in Parliament. By tonight's vote, he does. But then we will have another day of debating and voting and questioning. If that fails, surely, then it's a general election within 30 to 45 days. And that, of course, extends this period of uncertainty. But what was quite apparent throughout the day was how divided this parliament is. Now we have to see how divided the country is, because time and again we have different MPs from different perspectives in the parliament talking to themselves and shouting insults at each other and not really answering the tens of thousands of people who have been out on the streets in Armenia complaining about corruption, complaining about nepotism and cronyism, and complaining about a poor economy.
And this was all sparked when the president, Serge Sargsyan, moved from the presidency to take the prime minister's role. And he, of course, was forced to step down. So just remind us of the background to why opposition supporters are so unhappy.
What is felt here is that the present Republican Party has been in power for almost 20 years. And the previous prime minister, who was president for 10 years, then changed the part of the constitution, which was changed in 2015. But when he stepped down after spending 2 terms as president, then he announced himself as prime minister, and that was seen as a grasp, a gamble in a way to try and remain in power, and the Republican Party stay in power, and possibly even to remain in power for a very long time. Now, we've seen these kind of moves, oddly enough, next door in Russia, with Medvedev and Putin, and that's been talked about at length here. Now, the popular, or the Velvet Uprising, as it's called, the Velvet Revolution, what they're talking about is something much wider, to get rid of the corrupt political society here, the elite, the political elite in Armenia, and to try and improve the life of the ordinary Armenian. And there is a huge difference in this parliament where I'm talking with you now, how people are talking to each other and how they're addressing each other, to what people tell me on the streets, and how, as I can hear actually in the distance in the public square, which is now full of protesters, and all eyes now are going to see how people will react to tonight's vote.
Yeah, we wait to see what happens in the hours to come. Iolo, thank you. Iolo.